Well, we're back. Another installment of the Bald Chef of Bergamo. Spring day, little brisk, chilly breeze, and we get a little bit of rain off and on today. So we decided, what's the best way to celebrate this spring day but with a great minestrone, a hearty soup, nice warm soup. This is one of the best recipes I've got. Very healthy. It's like gold. When for all the vegetarians out there, this is top-notch soup. So very easy to make. Let's get at it. So Gwen, we got the minestrone, and what we're gonna do is just throw everything we got. Throw some. Take a potato, clean it, slightly peeled, put it in nice cubes. We're gonna chop up some carrots, about 4 or 5 carrots, 4 or 5 celery stalks. 2 large zucchini, put them in nice cubes. Dice up a large white onion, a little bit of tomatoes in, and some broth. It's very simple and very healthy. So after the first thing we do after we diced up cubed up the potatoes is to throw that into our lovely Le Creuset Dutch oven. So let me show you what that looks like. So I've added the potatoes to the Dutch oven, the Le Creuset pot. It's my standard pot. It's a great soup pot. And there's about a tablespoon of olive oil in there, maybe 2 tablespoons. And I want to really get the cook the potatoes, maybe get a little crust on them a little bit. It actually adds a little bit of flavor. I've tried it before and after. Whether I brown them or don't brown them, add them at the end after I've added the other vegetables. But I like to add potatoes first. Kind of brown them up just a bit. I'm not gonna make them crunchy or anything, but just give them a nice good searing on the edge before I add the carrots and the celery. So let's get this going, and then I'll chop up the carrots and celery. So the potatoes have cooked for about 5-6 minutes. As you can see, leave a little bit of stuff on the bottom. Don't worry about that, because when you add the rest of the stuff and you add the broth, this will come up and add a little bit more flavor and color to the minestrone. So now I'm going to add the carrots, and then I will add, I will add the celery. Stir that up. Add about a tablespoon of olive oil. Then let that cook for about 5-6 minutes. Then add the onions and the zucchini, and we'll show you what that looks like. So it's been cooking for about 5 minutes, the celery, carrots, and potatoes. And now I'm going to add the onions. I'm going to stir those in, let them cook for a minute or 2 while I chop up the zucchini. Then I'll add the zucchini. And basically, I'm just adding layers of flavor. But in reality, as I chop, I add. Chop onions, add them. Then work on the zucchini and add that. And by the time you do all that, you got all the layers of flavor inside, and you throw the tomatoes in and the broth, and you're good to go. So I just added the zucchini, and now I'm going to throw in the tomatoes, let it cook for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll throw in the chicken broth. And then you're good to go, and you just let it sit there. Add a little bit of herbs. I'll show you how to do that. It's a wonderful soup. So I've added 6 cups of chicken broth to this. Obviously, for the vegetarians out there, you can just add vegetable broth, but I've added that up, filled up the pan nicely, and I threw about 1.5 tablespoons of fresh basil. And I just stir it in, let this come up to a boil, and back it off and simmer. Then I'll add my special cheese rinds that I typically add to all my soup, the Parmigiano Reggiano ends. I add a few of those to add a little more flavor and surprise people when they go to eat it. And about 5 minutes before serving, about 5 to 3 minutes before serving, I'll add some fresh spinach, just some leaves to it, and they'll wilt, they'll cook down quickly and provide some more flavor and obviously good eats to the soup. We'll check back once it's time to eat. So we've got the minestrone that's been simmering for a couple hours, and now I'm going to just add in the spinach as is. Fresh spinach. I had some in the refrigerator. I'll add that in. and let it cook. Just roll it into the soup, the minestrone. Let it cook for about 5 minutes. It'll wilt up nicely, and it'll be perfect. Then we'll plate it, and buon appetit. So here's the finished product. As you can see, the soup, the minestrone, is spectacular, estrepitosa. The spinach cooked down nicely in just a few minutes. And you can see on the left there that chunk of cheese, that end crostini that came from the Parmigiano Reggiano. It's just perfect, cooked perfectly in the broth there. And then on top I made some, just with some leftover stale bread, I added some spices to it and threw some olive oil on it, threw it in the oven to make some crostini to put on top of the soup. So we've got the minestrone that's been simmering for a couple hours, and now I'm going to just